Hello, friends. I don't know if I'm live. Let's find out. It's hard to tell. Technical difficulties getting started. Sorry. Just double check, make sure I'm online. It says I'm live. Okay, good. Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. Lots of technical fudging, but I think we're good to go. Here we are. This is SDXL-Lightning. It's ridiculously fast. It lets you converge on a image in 2 steps, or well, 1 step with diffusers, but 2 steps currently with ComfyUI. I don't know if we're going to or when we're going to get the 1 step stuff in Comfy, but for now, we can play with 2 to 8 steps. So there's a bunch of different models. And if you go to the description below, if I'll display here a bit. All right. Yeah, I was making some videos earlier and messed up all my settings here. So just bear with me while I get my thing set up again. I was filming a couple little short form tutorials to help with little tips and stuff with ComfyUI. So I'll be dropping those soon. Better than these long form things sometimes to just get a quick tip and get out. So tonight we're going to play with SDXL-Lightning and OpenSAM YoloWorld identification and masking. So a couple examples. Lightning is a super fast LoRa that turns any SDXL checkpoint into a 1, 2, 4, or 8 step model. You can only use the one CFG1, and there's these very specific settings right here. So far, I mean, maybe people are about to do some research and try some stuff, and I'll talk about some experiments I did last night with animate diff and how maybe some of these settings being different isn't the worst thing in the world when you're trying to accomplish different things. But this is just super simple. You take your normal checkpoint, you add a LoRa, and that LoRa is linked in the description below. You pop it in your LoRa's directory. I just put mine under Lightning. So mine is Lightning / SDXL-Lightning 2-step LoRa. Load that up as your LoRa in line with your checkpoints. You can use the model only too. It doesn't need the clip. And I just have IP adapter in here to do this like a dead simple setup here. 2 steps, and then these are the settings right here. 2 steps, a CFG of 1, Euler sampler at SGM uniform. The amount of steps relates to the amount of steps on the LoRa that you. There's also a UNet version, which is higher quality, but it is so the LoRas are 300 megabytes and the UNets are 5 gigs. So the UNets look better, but they're much larger. So if you just want to play with this, just grab the LoRa to play. But if you really want really high res, well, not high res, because we'll talk about it in a minute, but the quality is not as good as like regular SDXL, but that's because these models are distilled down and pruned into like one single CFG stream. Basically, like when you're diffusing and you have the CFG level, and that's how prompty it is, how much it tries to be like the prompt or how much it doesn't try to be like the prompt based on these models are locked at one continuous like CFG scale. So you have to set your CFG to 1, and moving it up or down only makes it worse, really. I was doing some tests last night and sometimes doing a few extra steps on the models with 4 steps on the 2-step model can look better. But what tends to happen is when you add more on top of these models, it just starts to deep fry it a bit. It all kind of starts to look like deep fried like JPEGs. So avoid that. Just keeping things. But as you can see, this 2-step one, it's not as good as SDXL. I mean, it's really fast. That's with IP adapters as well. Without IP adapters, it's even faster. But those are 1024 by 1024 generations. It's really, really fast. So if speed is what you want, if you're trying to do drawing or you're trying to do some sort of real-time stuff, and you don't care so much about quality, this is the way to go. If you do care about quality, obviously you don't want to just stick to regular models or use something else and just wait for the steps. Because it's just a LoRa and it works on the model, you can still do stuff like IP adapter. You can add ControlNet. You can add animate diff. You can add all the fun stuff you can do at 2 steps. So Last night I was doing some animate diff stuff with HotShot, trying to figure that out. I had animate diff, IP adapter, and 2 ControlNet, and it was fine. And it's still converging in 2 steps. So with large batches, I will say the quality of the animations wasn't as good as minus the lightning. So yeah, let's talk about how to use them. Grab the LoRa if you want the 300 megabyte one. If you want the 5 gig one, just grab that UNet. And instead of this load LoRa model only, we're going to load a node called UNet loader. And you're going to put those UNet models in your Comfy folder under models. So they go in, put UNet files here. So they go in ComfyUI models UNet. They those are the large. So I've grabbed the 2-step and the 8 steps here so we can play with them and see what they do. So the LoRa, you saw the quality of the LoRa. I can do a few more runs. I'm going to swap it out for the UNet, which does look better. But yeah, we'll see. 2 steps, it might be only. So with this one, you don't run the model through it. You actually use this as your model, but you use this as your clip. So we can just, let's just get rid of this for now. So this model will replace your regular model. So you just plug that in where it was normally gone. In this case, it goes into the K sampler because I don't, well, actually, no, sorry. It goes into IP adapters. IP adapter in. We'll add IP adapter later. Let's make this even simpler. So this is just a dead simple SDXL setup. We got load checkpoint into a UNet loader, our clip, positive and negative prompt, empty latent image, K sampler, VAE decoder, and save image. So this is just a bare bones, everyday image generation. The only thing we've done here to lightening it up is add this UNet loader. So yeah, we swap out the model. So we pull all the clip and VAE from the checkpoint, but we take this from the model and the same settings as before. It's 2 steps, 1 CFG, Euler at an SGM. Okay, that. Oh right, we don't have any prompt. That was very risky. Let's try an apple tree in. Those don't look like apples. Well, that was good. Yeah, I mean these look good at first glance, but when you get looking at them, they have some definite low step stuff. But yeah, that's 2 steps. Let's try the 8 step. And this only takes like marginally more time. It takes longer to load the UNet model. Hit the K sample. 8 steps is still really fast. But yeah, the quality does improve, and the quality is better on the UNet one. So if quality matters to you and you want to kind of do like an upscaling workflow where you're working these models as upscalers at really high res, because like 2048 by 20 seems to not be much slower than it's still really fast. It's really tripping out over the latent space. But yeah, you could then because this workflow is like really fast, you can just remove this case sampler advanced. That'll give you some leftover noise. I think we can just upscale this. Actually, no. You know what? I want to actually try. I'm going to try an experiment here. I don't know if you guys are familiar with I watched a lot of videos last week. Added the GPU. What is the add-on that you have at the very top of your progress bar? Oh, okay. So there's this thing here, this RAM, GPU, all this stuff, and this progress bar thing at the top is all part of a node group called Chris Tools. Chris Tools. So yeah, that's what I'm using for that. You just install that and restart Comfy, and you'll be off to the races. And yeah, it's cool. It does gives you these nice little readouts. Lets you know when you're peaking out on your VRAM, because that'll usually, if something's going slow, it's usually because you've pegged your VRAM all the way to the wall. Yes, I will also say that there's a bunch of great all kinds of fun stuff with text, switches. The switches in here are fantastic. It's just a switch any node. You just plug 2 things into it. So say I wanted to have a switch that was like just 2 different models or 2 different workflows. You plug one into here and one into here, and then you just use this Boolean to swing between them. Like just like a simple logic. So, if I wanted just a switch to switch between 2 different LoRas or 2 different LoRa setups or 2 different model setups, plug all your model stuff into it and plug all your model stuff into the second one, and then you just have a switch. And I'm sure you could think of a million reasons. No, first I'm going to talk about efficiency nodes for Comfy UI. I've been using this a lot lately. It's very helpful. It's got a lot of cool features. I actually am not going to use it for this because the SDXL one doesn't have the feature I want to use anyways. The SD15 version of it will let you, the SD15 version will let you actually do a high-res fix, like automatic 1111. So I want to return with leftover nodes. Then we want to do another. Yeah, use anywhere nodes are great. It's brighter. Play with some upscaling workflows that you see on the internet. I don't do a lot of SDXL, so like a lot of this in a sense, I pretty much do mostly SD15 because of animate diffs. We can mess with animate diff a little bit. It's I'll admit it's a little rough, but let's do it. Let's do. I'll just do this quick. I do want to get to the. Okay, and pull our model from here. Settings right there. Yeah, I've been a few times recently on the Bob Ross of AI. I'm not mad at that at all. I love it. So we're in a closed loop. 16.14. No, 8.14. Unclosed loop. Sorry, I'm in animate diff mode. We need to get on now HotShot mode. HotShot is 8. If you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, look up animate diff evolved for ComfyUI. It works with SD15 mostly, but it also does kind of sort of work with SDXL if you use HotShot or the SDXL animate diff motion LoRa motion model, but I have not had any luck with that one yet. I'm sure it's me, but the HotShot one I've had minimal success with. Works better with more steps with full-fledged runs, but I was getting some visible frames out of it last night. Because at 2 steps or 8 steps, that's crazy. We're doing animation. You having trouble hearing me? Is that the same for everybody else? Am I quiet tonight? Is that better? Turn me up, baby. Motion LoRa, don't need that. Equal length closed loop. Yeah, we're good. And then I think that's all we need. All right, let's make some horrible stuff. Let's do 24 frames. With HotShot in this model, I can actually do stuff at like 768 by 432. I think works. All right, let's pop this save out and let's do a. We need to replace it with a video combine node. There it is. 24 frames per second. File name prefix. HotShot. So I don't lose my mind. That'll put it in a HotShot folder. With the prefix lightning hotshot. Ping pong is off, save output is on. So this is just going to save a 24 frame animation of the nightmare we're about to make. So this should just work. Oh, I see. I've made a grave mistake. We're going to let it run though. Does anyone know? Does anyone see what I did wrong here? Is anyone paying attention? Does anyone see what I screwed up? So I'm using the 2-step UNet model and I'm doing 8 steps. So it's going to look worse than it would normally look. So let's back this back down to 2 steps because remember I said the amount of steps has to match the thing you do. Yeah. Yeah. So that looks a little deep fried, but otherwise it actually looks kind of usable. So let's try 2 steps. And then what I noticed last night was with animate diff and HotShot with this thing, I noticed 1 step higher than the model and 1 CFG higher. So like if it's a 2-step model, I did an animation at 3 steps with a CFG of 2 and it looked better than the one at 2 steps CFG 1. And I don't know if that's just this thing like, overcompensating for the motion models inconsistencies when connected to this. I don't really understand how this whole relationship works. I did notice that if I set this to 3 steps and set this to CFG of 2 on the 2-step, that should be a little cleaner than this animation. But the fact that we got 24 frames of this out of 2 steps in that amount of time is wild. Let's try 3 steps. See if the 3 steps can kind of clean it up a little bit. Okay. I mean, that's pretty amazing. HotShot doesn't even look that good sometimes at 20 steps, depending on what you do with it. So it's pretty crazy. Let's try, car crash, smoke, fire, all that cool stuff. 4 frames. Color code these nodes. Well, it's definitely a really cool way to make absolutely chaotic animations. And of course, you can smooth this out by just adding a film node and copying and pasting this, popping that in there, just adding, film to the end of it so you know that it's the interpolated one. And we'll try ocean waves crashing against a sun-kissed beach. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, I'm getting my CFG problem. Okay, so I think it'll go away after that first step. You guys might have seen something there in the generation. I've noticed that with these models that your negative prompt, which in my case is NSFW nude, when you mess with the CFG, starts to slide into that first image. So in the back of this crazy animation somewhere, there's probably a nude lady. I'm sure there's a data scientist here who can explain why that works, but I don't. So maybe I'll just pop that CFG back down to 1 while we're on YouTube, just in case something racy pops through. But yeah, you can upscale. You can bring this scale up to the, was it 1024 by 1024? I don't know if this is going to look good or not. So let's try it. I noticed I was getting better results at the 768 by 432. And I have seen HotShot workflows that work that way and then upscale it after. So yeah, maybe that's the move. Do that, then upscale it to whatever 1.5 that is. Let's see what the 1024 by 1024 looks at. Maybe it looks okay at native res. I'm not sure. It's looking really busy. This is the kind of stuff I was getting before. I'm going to guess this is going to be very, very noisy. Yeah. Man, that water is gross. Yeah, I did notice that, and I don't know why that is. Not sure. But that makes me wonder now if we go 768 by 432, so that we were getting nice stuff with that. So let's copy and paste this K sampler and plug all the same stuff into it. Positive prompt, negative prompt, latent image. We're going to take from the first K sampler because this is an upscale. And actually, before it goes in there, we need to do a latent upscale by latent upscale. Oh, it's upscale latent. All right, upscale latent by 1.5, and then we'll plug that into the latent image. So we're going to take this one that it generates and then increase it 1.5 times. So that'll be whatever 1.5 times this stuff is. And then it'll do an upscale run on this, and let's see what we get. Just remember, this stuff's important. Upscale. Right. And you go here, and this should already be connected. I copied and pasted it. Oh, I've been saving GIFs. That's ridiculous. Save MP4s. They look way better. Let's try this again at the right size and then with the upscale. I think I missed the VAE. So the VAE comes from your checkpoint. It'll always tell you where you screwed up with the big red circle. Right. Let's see what it do. Okay, well, those look less like living foam waves, carnivorous waves. All right, well, if you want disgusting upscales, you can do this. I mean, this is just weird to begin with, but this is extra weird. If you guys want to play with this workflow, I can put it on my Discord, but this is very highly experimental stuff. I don't know if you do this over, Animate LCM, which looks, a million times better and can converge in like 4 steps on SD15. But yeah, this is an interesting experiment for sure. It's really gross. Tell it I hate it. All right, I'm just going to save this as busted, weird, HotShot workflow. And I want to move on from Lightning because Lightning is impressive and we can do fun stuff with it. And you can just wire an IP adapter as well if you want. You can do IP adapter plus HotShot to give yourself IP adapter animations. You can add ControlNet to infuse video masks into what you're doing to make things diffuse here and there. Yeah, you know, we could go all night on that. But what I want to get to is OpenSAM. What's it called? There it is. ComfyUI-YoloWorld-EfficientSAM. So recently, I mean, this is not recent technology, but recently, I've been seeing a lot of stuff where people are tagging and classifying and working with sort of that like surveillance side of AI where, it's definitely always watching us, always paying attention to what we're doing. And it knows we know what we're doing, all that kind of stuff. Um, I find that, very interesting. And it's really interesting to use in my workflow and, as part of my whatever the things I'm working on. But beyond that, there's actually a really interesting use case for YOLO World and EfficientSAM and Comfy because we can now segment out these things and make masks of them. And you can go mask by mask and make a different mask for each person or each thing. So when you load this up, you can basically say like, I want you to separate the people, bags, light, car, all the things that are in the model set. And the setup is in Chinese, so I'm actually going to walk through the setup real quick because it's not hard at all. It's just sometimes these pages are weird. So let's translate to English. Just right click and translate to English in Google, which is really important for a lot of these things that come out, not English. So you put the translation, will get you there. So yeah. Ba-da-ba-ba. Here, I'll just play this video demonstration so you can see what the hell I'm talking about. You see how it's finding everything and then making a mask. So if you think about this, we can find all the things and then inpaint these things. So we can say I want to change all these people to monsters, or I want to inpaint everything around the people. So I could AI the whole scene, but leave the people all like human and normal looking. So you can imagine where this can go with the masking and inpainting and all that stuff. But for now, let's just talk about how to like set up the the segmentation and detection side of things. So the first thing you do is actually, yeah, is it in Comfy Manager yet? Let me double check. It might even be easier to install now. Yeah, EfficientSAM. There it is. It's already in here now. So yeah, this is install that EfficientSAM and restart. If you are if it doesn't work or something breaks and it's doing and you need to pip install, just remember that with the Comfy portable install, you don't actually pip install stuff to your local environment most of the time. What you want to do is go into your Comfy folder, right? And there's a folder in that folder called Python embedded. Okay. In that Python embedded folder, there's a python.exe. Okay. That python.exe is the one that you need to use to run pip to update stuff in your Comfy portable environment. So when you see this pip install our requirements and you do it and it doesn't fix the problem, what you need to do is go to that folder where you installed the custom node. So in my case, it's Comfy custom ComfyUI-YoloWorld. Okay. You see that requirements.txt. Now, normally you'd go, pip install -r requirements.txt. But we don't want to install to our local environment. We want to install to the Comfy environment. So you go, in my case, it's C AI Comfy Windows Portable. Okay. So C AI Comfy. And you can always hit tab to autocomplete when you're doing this. Python embedded, tab, python.exe, -m pip install -r requirements.txt. Oh, okay. Sorry for the horrible unreadable mess, but that is 2 of them. So maybe just the one. Why don't we do this? Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. So you'd go CAI, whatever your folder is, Python embedded, Python IC -m pip install -r requirements. And that'll do all the stuff for your Comfy environment and not your local environment. And then when you restart Comfy, it should actually work instead of should. After you've restarted Comfy, all you have to do is download these two files, EfficientSAM scpu.jit and EfficientSAM. That's the same file. Oh, just CPU and GPU. Yeah, and so that's these two files right here. Just drop the link right in the chat. So you need these two files, and they go in AI Comfy models. Come on, brain. YOLO. The YOLO? Right. ComfyUI custom nodes into the you can go date modified to get the latest one, YoloWorld, and you just drop them right in there. So they go in that folder right there. Right? Put those two files there. And then yeah, let's build out the YoloWorld stuff. Try to remember how to do this from just three models, large, medium, and small. Just go with the YoloWorld-EfficientSAM. We're going to use an ESAM model loader. We're going to use CUDA instead of the CPU, so that's our GPU. The image is actually our video, so we're going to load video. Yep, there's a video of a bunch of cars, 24 frames per second. Let's just do the first like 64 frames so that we can, not go crazy. Image, let's do a video combine. 24 frames per second. We'll call this YOLO 4. Okay, and our mask, we're gonna go mask to image because we just want to see it. And then same deal here. Actually, we don't need the mask because we're not gonna do this part yet. We're gonna just run this first. Okay, so we are looking for car, truck, and I think that's all that's really in this scene. So we're just looking for car and truck. The confidence threshold is how, actually, I'll turn confidence on so you can see what the hell I'm talking about. Confidence is on, segmentation off, 8, text thickness. So that's going to grab the first 64 frames of the video, and it's going to go in and identify all the cars and trucks that it can find and throw a bounding box around. Then it's going to recombine that, all the frames that it's done into a video. Pretty cool. So you can do this on, footage you've already made, footage you have. Just download some CC0 stuff and start tagging things. It's cool and fun. But beyond this, we can actually make a mask out of these cars by hitting use segmentation. Now this takes longer because it goes and has to segment them out and stuff, but it does. So let's make a mask here. So mask to image. All right, and then video combine out. All right, so this will make a mask of the cars and the trucks, but let's just say I just want the cars. So let's hit it. Now it should, yeah, this will take a little while, take longer than it did before. But when it's done, it should make this version, but also a version that's just black and white where you just see the outlines of the cars. Once we have that, we can rename it, and then we have that file. We can use it for input. Then we can do the trucks or the vans or whatever. And then we could maybe do another run where we can inpaint two different things to those two different masks. This is new ground for me. I've only gone this far that I'm showing you tonight. So this stuff here, and then all the inpainting and masking and stuff, that's going to be us figuring that out together. So might be pretty rough, but yeah, we're just going to figure it out. Unfortunately, Comfy does have a few annoyances with alpha channel and things like that, but whatever, we'll figure it out. Or not, but we'll try. Is this going to mess with the environment variables? I tried to Zoe install before and got some problems. No, I don't think so. Come on, cars. So yeah, as you can see, the segmentation takes much longer. Also, it takes longer because like this input footage is like I think 720p. Ideally, you probably when you're doing segmentation and you don't care about these, you can use force size to bring it down. We got the cars. So let's just save this so we have the cars. So one thing I want to try now is I have these cars and I have this footage, but the problem is right now, these cars are moving at 24 frames per second and this footage is not. So I need to get 64 frames of untouched footage. So I'm just going to remove that stuff and I'm just going to go like this. So I'm just going to pull the first 64 frames into a 24 frame thing of the same size. so that I have two things that match. I have a mask and I have just a clean thing with the same thing. If I'm right, I should be able to load both of those into video players, sync them up, and they should look like they're same universe. So let's find out. Load. Just use the set latent noise mask and use the black and white input as the mask. Thank you. I will try that. Thanks, Dave. I have done this before, but I forgot how. So that is going to be super helpful. So let's do a load video of the and then sync them. Are we in sync? I feel like we're in sync. Feels pretty in sync. Okay. We have this. So load this and load our other video, which I just made. Comfy output. YOLO. Oop. Oh, that's annoying. AI. What? YOLO. Okay. There's our input footage. There's our thing. This mask was actually, I guess we can go. It was already a mask, but whatever. We should probably preview the mask, make sure it looks normal. And what we might want to actually do is invert the mask and dream the other stuff. But let's try dreaming the cars first. So we need a K sampler. I guess we do this with animate diff. I don't. Yeah, let's do it with animate diff. Hey Ken, just scroll back a little bit. It's in the nodes. You enable the masking, and then the mask out of there. You enable the segmentation. Takes longer when you run it, but then the mask out provides the black and white mask. So you just video combine it or use it as a mask. We can do this actually. Hold this whole run. Let's do this whole run from loading just the source video. That'll be actually easier. Nah, screw it. Let's do this. We already made them. Scroll back if you need to do it again. Model. Okay, so let's do checkpoint. We'll just try photon about to positive, negative prompt. Okay, let's add animate diff. Let's go mental. Evolved sampling, model through, model out. Sample settings, we'll set it to repeated context. Context settings, we'll do looped uniform. Although straight, actually, these videos won't loop anyway. So let's just use our standard static, or standard uniform. Yeah, standard. 16.14 is fine. You're good. You're good. What's next? We need motion model. Probably didn't need the advanced version. Motion model. Let's use version 3. All right. So we are dreaming. We're dreaming. We're going to V8 encode pixels from our video. The VAE from our thingy. Latent out to here. But we also need to pop you in here. And then this is the mask. Actually, no, this is not. I have no idea if this is going to work, but it's going to be entertaining. Horses. Oh, God. SFW nude. You know what? We should also use animate LCM while we're here. Save ourselves some bull. So let me clean this up because this is a absolute nightmare. Why are you guys on this side? Animate diff. Let's move you here, you here. So mask. Diff. This will make sense when I'm done moving all this stuff around, I promise. Or, it won't. Either way. Either way. Checkpoint into animate diff into our prompt. We got our empty latent image here, determining all the stuff in our case sample. Actually, this is doing nothing because we are VAE encoding our input video with the mask of the cars. I have no idea if this is going to work, but we are just trying stuff and hitting buttons. So let's just try stuff and hit buttons. The other thing I want to do is add the animate LCM. So we're going to add a LoRa loader. And we're going to use the animate LCM. Pop that clip through there. Model into here. Clip into here and here. Because we are doing SD15, I'm going to do a little more silliness. I think, I'm trying to remember if it goes after. I'm going to try after. We're going to do deep shrink, free you, and actually, I'm going to swap out this K sampler and loader. And I'm going to use the efficiency K sampler, okay, with the efficient loader. And there is a method to my madness. Probably. We don't need this LoRa loader with it either. Efficient loader and the efficient K sampler work together. You can actually plug in almost all the stuff, just skadoosh. It's kind of great. Latent image is actually, we don't care about. VAE. Normally it would go through, but we're not using it. And clip goes in. No, we don't need clip either. So we can delete these because it's actually in the loader. So loader, ADIF to the patch up stuff, into the efficiency sampler. And the reason I'm using that is there's a script here called the high-res fix script. And it works like the automatic 11 high-res fix. And I'm going to use it because our input footage is wide and SD15 sucks at anything that's not a square. But this tends to fix it, or at least tries to. You guys can be yellow. Wait, I know this is all very confusing and weird. That's okay. I'm confused and weird too. Out. Okay, I think that's all wired up, right? We're missing our model. Model comes through from here. It doesn't go in there. It comes out of you in here, you in here to here. Model to efficiency. Skadoosh. Okay, and we're gonna switch out our LoRa for the animate LCM one, and we're gonna use photon. And here's our positive and negative clip, and we're gonna call it horses. And I'm gonna add an SFW. I'm gonna swap the motion model out for the T2V one because that's for using the animate LCM. And then this beta schedule, we want LCM average, and everything else I think is fine. So yeah, let's change the resolution. No, this will handle the resolution. I might need to check. So this is probably 1280 by 720. So we probably don't want to do 1280 by 720. And we also need to switch this for LCM CFG of, does it go a lot lower? I feel like it goes a lot lower, 2 or 3. And steps, and then this upscale, we'll do 5 upscale steps. But these I actually want to force size. I want the width to be variable and the height to be fixed. Force size. Yeah. Well, let's just try this. So this should only do 64 frames because that's all these animations. So I'll rebuild the efficiency SAM, efficient SAM thing in another tab so we can process footage and then use it. I see horses. I see horses. Just saying, I see horses. I see horses. That horse is clipping through the ground, but it's a horse. Horses. You know what I could have done, though, that might have helped is add a video combine at the end so that we could, see it when it's done. It will show up in that little preview window, and I will be able to skip through it, so whatever. But, yeah, no, video combine wouldn't hurt. Before you are YOLO. Yeah. Because this seed is fixed, I might be able to just run this again and video combine it, but we'll see. I definitely see horses. I wonder if the inpainting ControlNet would help. But yeah, let's throw the animate diff ControlNet in there as well. Why not? Control negative ADIF ControlNet. What do you think? The mask or the mask or the original video for the? Well, I mean, it kind of did exactly what I asked for. Right, because I rewired it. So let's try the mask, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Let's try. I don't know. What would be a cool thing to put in there other than a horses? Just like fire. Like replace all the cars with fire and smoke. I have no idea what the ControlNet's going to do because it's looking at this mask, but the contrast slider, LoRa. I haven't tried that one yet, so I don't really know how to use it, but I'll check that out sometime. Well, I think I wonder if you blur the mask a bit around the edges, like just add like a bit of yeah, just add a little blur to it. If that would help inpaint the edges, or maybe some combination of the control net, the inpainting control net, and that, or maybe you could make a blur mask that's just around the edges. Well, I guess not really. It would because it's all the same color. Yeah, right on, Dave. Yeah, at first I was really just excited about being able to classify things and, sort of like put boxes around stuff and label things and see what the AI saw. But then when I saw you can actually make masks and start segmenting and inpainting and all that stuff, things start to happen. Cause like now I'm thinking it'd be even more fun to not worry about inpainting the cars, but inpaint the rest of the scene with something that's just like not car related, just to make trippy footage. Because I don't know if we're going to be able to do like VFX and awesome, Hollywood level stuff with these kind of tools, but they're more fun as like crazy art generation. But I'm very curious to see what effect the control net has on it. It looks like it got the edges a little better with the control net, but we'll see. The masks are a little sketchy too. Like if you watch this footage up close, the masks are kind of sketchy, but it's amazing. Yeah, the weird window generations. Oh, I IP adapted in images of ComfyUI into an native animation. Yeah, yeah. I think I'm gonna work on a series of those because that's a really fun idea with having the comfy windows show up. If you don't know what ProSire's just talking about, I'll just pull it up real quick. Yeah, that's just using two different images for IP adapters and playing with the masks. And one of the images was just a screenshot from ComfyUI, and it like made all the little trippy little windows and stuff. Yeah, it's really fun to mix concepts with IP adapters and animate diff because you can feed different masks, into ComfyUI and make crazy stuff. ABC DJ is actually the guy who got me into doing this stuff because like he made this. I won't play the audio because I'll get copy stricken, but it's Homer doing super styling. And yeah, I just loved it. I thought it was really cool, and that's what got me kicked off of this whole Open SAM debacle. That and the old Square Push Terminal Slam video. Wow, that is cool. I do want to try turning this off and just seeing what it comes out of just a quick run. But I really like that. That's really trippy. I'm just standing and doing my stretches, and I suggest you do the same, but I'm not your mom. If you don't want to stretch, don't stretch. I, however, am going to stretch. Oh, I don't think I've seen that one. Yeah, Dave, let us know when you get a Twitter, eh? I'll retweet some of your stuff. Get you some views. Yeah, as always, let me just make sure my mic's working. Yeah, as always, come by the Discord, come by the Patreon, all that stuff. Pers.xyz, all the links are there. If you like what we do here, you can support us on Patreon. We are yeah, just building stuff out for the community, and I want to start doing like live jam sessions where we make stuff on the Discord together. So we'll probably do that, once every 2 weeks or something. Pick a night and just have our own little party and just make some stuff and try some things. And if you have questions and things like that, we can do sort of interactive Q&A type stuff. Okay, so I think the inpainting definitely helped. Yeah, the inpainting definitely helped, or the Koya stuff definitely helped. So this time I'm gonna actually try to inpaint everything around the car. Yeah, I think you'd right, Taz. It would work better. Taz is saying if you inpaint or if you expand the mask a bit and feather it or blur it it would probably help with the edges, and I think that's right. So right now what I've done is I've inverted the car mask, and we're going to have it dream everything outside the cars as water and see what happens. I think cars are going to drive through some imaginary way. Yeah, I think this one's going to be really neat. I'm trying to think of how you would use the inpainting control net with this. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I was using it for when I was doing dreaming over input footage that already exists. You can use it to like just kind of bring it back in and stuff. That is crazy. I'm so stoked on this. This is so cool. I want to see what it does without the control nets so I can get an idea of what's happening here. I should have done the vans too. I'll do that next time because the van cuts that car off there. Or we could cut some different footage if you guys want to try a different clip, you know. Maybe people walking, we could get rid of the people or get rid of the background. Even the Pacific Ocean. Well, that's why we do it live, because then you can just do it yourself, man. I think that animate diff control net was doing a lot to contextualize where the water is. I might be wrong, but it seems to me like the cars are driving on the water on this one, and on this new one, it looks like they might be driving in the water, but we'll see. All right. I think I'm back. Words, words, words. Yep. Yeah, interesting. Both pretty good. Animate diff control net. I think it's called control GIF. Huh. I don't know what the motion model's for. Maybe it's for that specific workflow. There's one called control GIF. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe Dave has the right answer. Control net checkpoint. Checkpoint. I think that's the one. So okay. We have this workflow, so I'm gonna save this as inpainting a diff animate LC. But what I want to do now is just make a new tab, clear it, and just make a workflow for to make these. So let's do this again. It's YoloWorld-EfficientSAM. We need a model loader, ESAM model loader, YOLO World model loader, and then our image, which is our animation. Load video. Yeah, this might work. All right, so let's grab this footage. Same thing, 24 frames per second. Does SDXL-Lightning LoRa work with? Yes, it does. Yeah, yeah. You can use it after the other LoRa's, and it works. I did some stuff last night with Claymation LoRa and a few others, and it worked great. Let's do 64 frames, just like the last one. Image in. So we're going to start without segmentation and see what we get. We want a video combine. 24 frames per second. YOLO. Okay. Text thickness at 1 and at 0.8. I find the text a little big in general. Okay, so let's look at our footage and look what we're going to look for. We definitely want people. The shoes are fun. We could inpaint just their shoes, or we could inpaint people. Maybe we'll make a couple masks then. Let's make a people mask, and then we'll make shoes mask, and what else? That's probably good. People and shoes. So let's do people, person, shoe. So I'll do a mask with both of them first, so we can just see what it's catching. So it's grabbing the first 64 frames of the video, and then it's going to look through them and try to determine every person and shoe that it can. The confidence threshold is set at 10%. The IOU threshold is set at 10%. So the confidence threshold is like the lower it is, the more stuff it'll pick up. It's like more sensitive. It's like sensitivity, the threshold sensitivity. You see how everything has a number beside it? That's how much that's the probability of how much it thinks that thing is the thing that it's up. So this is all like 0.1, 0. So I can see the shoes. The shoes are appearing and disappearing because our probability is set at 0.1, 10%. So if I lower our probability, like our first setting there, the confidence threshold, I'm going to get the shoes more often because, it's going to see shoes more often. There might be some false positives, but it doesn't matter because we're going to get more shoes. So let's go 0.005. I guess 0.01 maybe as low as this can. I'll explain IOU threshold in a second. So let's run this again. If you do this without segmentation, it's very fast. If you do it with segmentation, it takes longer. So save the segmentation for when you're ready to pop your masks. All right, we're getting way more shoes now. Okay, so now when I make the shoe mask, it's going to see the shoes all the time. Actually, we don't even need the people. We're just going to make a shoe mask. Let's just see the shoes. Show me the shoes. I love watching the little shoe boxes walk along the ground. All right, that's pretty good. Let's so the IOU threshold, that's like when things are overlapping or it thinks things are two things, that tries to mitigate that. So the higher that is, the less chance it has of overlapping two contexts. So we can leave it down low because we want to actually get kind of as many frames as possible of all these, of all these feet. Maybe we could make all these people barefoot, just walking around, on the dirty city streets with no shoes on. I'm going to turn confidence off just so I can just see the boxes. It'll say shoe too, but it's a lot easier to see the masks when you don't have the numbers jumping around. There we go. It thinks his hands are shoes every now and then. Maybe it's a little too. Maybe the confidence threshold's a little too sensitive. I'd like to cut out a bunch of the false positives, but try to keep the shoes. Feel like we're losing shoes. The hands aren't shoeing anymore though. 0.03. That's enough shoes for me. I'm happy. We could do this all night. All right, let's do with segmentation. That's going to generate the mask that I need. Nose of the issue, the allergies. Image, mask to image. Out to video. 24, MP4. If you've already set one up, always just copy and paste it because it's a lot easier to just change the one thing in it, than. So that's the mask. But I also want just this. So we're grabbing the original frame and the shoe frames so that we have a mask and a thing that's all like an original and a mask that's the same length, the same size, the same amount of frames, all that stuff. Yep. And then that's there. That's it. So this one's gonna be useless to us. Essentially, it's just this again. This will be the original, and this will be the mask. So then with this workflow, you can just load an input video, tell it where you want it to do it, tell it what you want, and it'll just make it for you. And just rename that. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see that. If you need to rebuild it, you can. How predictions on how long till a good open source competitor to Sora gets released? Oh, open source? I don't know. A while. It's a lot of compute. A lot of smarty pantses that got paid a lot of money to make Sora. Yeah, the segmentation is not fast. This is only 64 frames too, so if you need to do a lot of footage a bunch of times, get ready to hit the button and go do some other stuff while it's YOLO worlding. I don't know if it's particularly taxing on the computer while it's going. It just know that it takes a long time, so maybe there's a way to do it in parallel or something. I guess the lower the confidence threshold is, the longer it takes to generate the mask. Maybe it'll just finish any minute now. Who knows? The other thing I was thinking might be cool is take this footage and then pre-process it into ControlNet footage and having these boxes and stuff flashing around with like line art or something, and then using that to do some dreams might look cool. We could try that too. Like a coarse, realistic line art on the boxes and stuff might be. There's little feet. Little feet. Okay, before we leave this workflow, I do want to do a people one. Because then, yeah, if the shoe one sucks, we have the people one to do stuff with. So, comfy, output, YOLO. YOLO. We want this and this. What's LWM? Lenwood Middle School, Lisa Welch Madden Law Firm, Language and Working Memory Lab, Laser Welding Monitor. What's LWM? Large World Model. Well, this looks creepy. You can chat with images, eh? Is this in use anywhere? Very interesting. Unfortunately, I don't have any TPUs kicking around. Yeah. Yeah, I think we should grow the mask. We could do that with just a blur, I think, right? Sweet. Nice. Okay, cool. All right, so I just set up a quick little thing to try to grow our mask here and see what it looks like with just like a Gaussian blur. 10 and 10, let's see what that does. Should be nice and fast. Nice and fast. Is that too big? Oh, that's for like the whole map. Why you not work? Oh, you should probably plug it into stuff. Wouldn't hurt. Might be a little too big. Yeah, I think I went too big. See what happens. Crazy. Okay. Tapered corners? Oh, I see. It just makes them kind of. Let's untaper those corners. Yeah, I think that's what we want. Pop that in right here. So, not this, but this. That should do it. Okay. It's still so cool. All right, let's try big fuzzy slippers. Fuzzy monster slippers. Let's see if it can figure it out. If not, we'll just make them walk around in the ocean. Let's put the control net back in, sure. Moment of truth. Is my mask feathered? No, it's not feathered. Did I not plug it into anything? This guy sucks. If I wanted to plug that in, let's say, go to the mask goes to, so you go here. Oh, that's, wait, I'm so confused. I've confused myself. Mask to image for the output. Cut out the middleman. Actually, make a reroute. Yeah, when in doubt, make a reroute. Ooh, I should put that on a t-shirt. Span 5, mask converted out, pop. Yeah, that's all good. And then you're going to here, so you guys are cool. What is your deal? What are you plugged? Oh, you load. Nothing's going into here, so the load needs to get turned into a mask. Yep, so we'll load this. Image to mask. Mask to this. Grow the mask. Mask goes out to the latent noise mask and to this viewer, so we can see what the fat mask looks like. It's definitely done something. I don't think they're fuzzy slippers, though. I think they're just white spots. Oh, wait, because where do you come from? Oh, you should also come from the fatter one. Yeah. Okay. So we're sending the fat mask everywhere it's supposed to go. So this is the skinny mask. These are the uploads. I guess this stuff's technically kind of like... Yeah. I'm sorry that this is so confusing. I'm figuring it out as we're going along here. So that's our mask, and that's our regular one. There. Pro. Okay, I guess that makes more literal sense. Oh, we'll see. I'm pressing X to doubt that this is going to be good. Yeah, I think so, Zlata. I'm pretty sure that's what's up. The shoe masks are too small to be effective. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what's happening here. But we'll see. You never really know from the preview image. Yeah, they're just white. Plus everything else looks pretty bad. Let's kill this. And let's use our people mask. But let's invert it. Wait, we don't need to use this, actually. Because we have a mask inverted. That's handy. So now we should do everything but the people. And let's put them in a 1980s shopping mall. Neon signs. Empty stores. Well, that's strange. It should have gone the other way. Maybe mask inverted. I think it will. I think it's just because I didn't have this plugged in. I only had the... Whoa. Yeah, this is going to be trippy. You can really see that blur around them. Wonder if you could use IP adapters. I guess you could use IP adapters for the inpainting. I just want to see what happens when I add the inpainting. Inpaint, but with the original footage. Yeah. Yeah, that's trippy. Beyond trippiness, though, I don't know if it's actually useful yet until we really spend some time on the masks and the inpainting and trying to understand exactly how this workflow can be useful. But it's really cool for just making trippy stuff, that's for sure. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover tonight. We got through Lightning, SDXL-Lightning. We got through OpenSAM segmentation, latent noise mask for doing the the inpainting, and then the rest is just you plugging in ControlNets and trying out different input videos and yeah, all that stuff. So go forth and have fun. And if you're stuck, you can't figure this stuff out, hop by the Discord and somebody's around. We'll probably be able to help you out. If you guys want this workflow, I can put it on the Discord, but it's kind of janky. But yeah, you can either go through and rebuild it from these screenshots here, or I can throw it on the Discord, whatever works for y'all. Come by the Discord, come hang out, pers.xyz, patreon.com/pers. Hit me on Twitter, hit me on Instagram, tag me in the stuff you make, and go forth and make cool stuff. Pers loves you, and we'll see you all very soon. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. And yeah, I'll be back probably Friday night. We'll be doing a little partay. I'm not sure what we're doing yet, but 45 things came out yesterday, so we got to still look at motion director. We got to look at what's the other one that just came out today? Something else came out I think just today. One sec. It's called Free Control. Free Control. Which apparently it's like a bunch of control nets together or something, and you can just give it like a very basic understanding of what you want, and it can make wild stuff. So we'll probably start digging into that on Friday, unless something else crazy comes out between then. But yeah, thanks for everybody, and we'll see you real soon. Have a great night.